All right. Hi, Maddie. Thanks so much for doing this interview and being on the video blog. Do you mind starting by just introducing yourself and what your current position is?
Yes, thank you for having me. My name is Mattie Robertson. I am the Deputy Director at the Center for Negotiation and Dispute Resolution at UC Hastings Law. And I also am adjunct professor for the mediation clinic.
And how did you first come to ADR or mediation?
So I found dispute resolution in law school. I started taking different classes like negotiation and things, and I ended up in the mediation clinic. And I just thought, oh my gosh, I love this. The adversarial model did not speak to me. And I love the idea that you could really find out what's going on with parties and search for a solution that makes everyone happy. It's a win-win. And I was good at it. I had some skills in that area. It felt really comfortable. And so after that, I did an externship. So good reason to do the clinic a little early in your career because you have time for that after. And it just set me on my path. So then after law school, I decided just to keep going, work in dispute resolution.
Well, can you talk more about that decision? Because I know for a lot of us, we got the advice to wait and really dig into a career in the law or some other field first. So, how did you make the decision to launch your career in ADR right after law school?
Well, part of it I think attributed to the fact that I didn't pass the bar. And then I thought, oh dear, now what? And I realized I didn't really want to practice law anyways. And, I had other professors who were supportive and said, if this is what you want to do, go for it. So I, took that mentorship advice and I just started looking for anything in the field where I could get in the door. And I ended up back at the nonprofit that I externed for during law school. They just had a admin job open, kind of, the bottom of the rung. And I said, let me just get in here because they knew me. And then once I got in there, I said, hey, can I also mediate some of your cases on the side? Because they know that I can mediate. I'm already trained and I've been working with them. And they let me do that. And I slowly built it up, worked my way up through the organization. So it was really just trying to find anywhere I could get in.
You and I have talked about this a little bit, but what do you think of this career path of starting in more of an administrative role? Because that was my path as well. And turning it into your professional career since then.
Oh, absolutely. And I think it works for me because I'm much more like process brained. I like to look at the details of things. So having an admin part of the job is good to me. I'm happy to take care of that piece of it. So it was a very natural fit. And it just helps you learn how to run a program or how to run a mediation. And it gives you those kind of base skills that you can translate in other parts too. And it's really a job that gets more turnover. So I think those might open up more frequently for those of us who are just starting out and looking for somewhere.
That's been my sense as well. I mean, I feel like if you look at the ADR's first career video blog, you do see a lot of individuals who that's where we got our start. And because there's a turnover, not only is there the opportunity, but then there's the opportunity to grow within the organization as well. Well, so you're now teaching with law students, and I'm sure working with students who have the same experience as you, getting into the mediation clinic and just loving it and thinking that this is something they might want to do for the rest of their career. What advice do you give students today?
Oh my goodness. So the advice is really get out there and work your connections. So I stayed in contact with my law school professors and my clinical professor all throughout my career when I'm doing other things. And they would invite me back, say, hey, can you speak to our students since you've been working in this field? And I just spent my time at those various jobs, getting to know other people and building those relationships. I really try to focus on the value of relationships with others. And as I worked my way up, I got to know kind of people higher, and that really helped me find that next job along the way. Someone said, hey, this job is opening up. My clinical professor, actually, when my current job opened up, said, hey, are you interested in this? Right? So keeping those contacts open and thinking of people I would want to know or work with in the future turned out to be really valuable. So I tell students that old cliche about networking, it works. go out there, just ask people, hey, I'm interested in your work. Can we chat? You may be surprised how many people are happy to talk about themselves. And it's actually really easy to just talk to a stranger if you ask them what they're interested in. So do it, please, students. Come reach out to me. I'm happy to chat.
Oh, that is so beautiful. So beautiful. So how do you, I mean, I sometimes get feedback of the choices that I made limited my options, even though I felt like the choices I made opened up doors to staying in this field. Like, so I don't know if it's a glass half empty, glass half full thing, but I'm just curious, how do you feel about the decision to stay in or start in ADR after law school now that you've been doing it for a while?
I'm super happy with it. I really enjoyed teaching people mediation and working and doing actual mediations. And now I get to work in a field where I'm teaching students, the next generation, these skills. I feel like I wasn't limited because it was what I was interested in. And within it, I was able to grow things. When I'm in a job, I propose something new. How about we start a practicum within this court mediation program we have? And it kind of opened up a new field for me to grow my career a little bit. So I think you can get creative with the job you have to build more into it, as long as you have good supportive people around you and you got a good creative idea. I never felt limited at all. I found like I ended up finding a good path.
Right on. Are you surprised that somebody would say it's limiting?
Yes, I don't know who that is. I wouldn't say it's limiting at all because it's very common that people have a niche field in the law. Even within the practice, your practice area is usually very small and you know all the same people. You keep coming in contact with them again and again. And lawyers get very detailed into their specific area. So I think the dispute resolution world is no different. It's its own little world, and there's a lot of different options. Especially now, I'm seeing more and more growth in the field that this is a more normalized process. It's not even alternative dispute resolution anymore. It's just appropriate. It's just one more way we resolve disputes in our culture.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. Well, any other words of advice or anything else you would want to share?
Yes, I think don't lose hope. There's a lot of students who talk to me and say they can't figure out the path to do something with dispute resolution because there isn't such a clear path that you just do X, Y, and Z and you can find the work. So I'd say just keep your, eye on wherever it is you want to be in the long run and just keep at it. Don't give up. Don't get disillusioned. There's plenty of us out here to help you and inspire you maybe.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. Yeah. It's not a path that's well trodden, and that sometimes career services knows how to support someone in that. And we do have to get creative and look anywhere and everywhere and network anywhere and everywhere for these opportunities. So I love that. Don't give up. Just keep looking, and talk to us. Talk to us,
Please.
because it's really fun to talk to folks who this is what they want to do and be like, yes, you can do it. Look
Yes.
at all these people who have done it.
Yes, it's a very welcoming field, I've discovered.
That's a beautiful thing. It's one of the reasons that I love being in it too. And similarly, don't feel like anything's been a limit at all. It's just lovely, isn't it?
It really is.
Well, thanks so much, Mattie, for doing this, and keep sending some of your students and alum our way, and we'll add them to the video blog.
I will. Thank you.